Wizards released a new class for playtesting, the Mystic. The Psion, a powerful mage of the mind, focusing on abilities that use telekinesis and telepathy. They're an intelligence-based full caster with a d6 hit die, using a pool of psionic energy dice, a resource very similar to Bardic Inspiration or a Battlemaster's Superiority dice. But is this new class any good? To answer that question, we need to break down each feature one by one using the scientific method of snap judgment. But of course, we would have to peer review that with a friend. Fuck, that means I have to call someone.
The Psions are real and they can hurt me.
At level 1, the Psion starts with psionic power. It details all the rules for using their psionic energy dice, talks about how you get one back on a short rest and all of them back on a long rest. But more importantly, it ends with 2 features for you to use your dice on. Starting with Telekinetic Propel. Telekinetic Propel. As a bonus action, you choose one large or smaller creature other than you that you can see within 30 feet of yourself, and then roll 1 psionic energy die. The target must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed or pulled, your choice, up to a number of feet straight away from yourself, equal to 5 times the number rolled. The die is only expended if the target fails the saving throw.
Mm-hmm. Can you reread that first sentence for me?
As a bonus action, choose one large or smaller creature.
Stop! Say it one more time.
Choose one large or smaller creature other than
Yeah, creature,
you.
no items.
No objects.
Pass.
Pass?
Pass.
What the fuck do you mean by pass? So here's what we're doing, apparently. To figure out whether or not the Psion, as a whole, is fuckable, requires us to assign each feature with a smash or pass. Once we get to the end, we can count up our unanimous total of smashes and our unanimous total of passes, throw away the stuff we didn't agree on, and come to a definitive answer as to whether or not the Psion is worth a shit. Class features that aren't unique to the Psion, such as ability score increases, are getting skipped. We don't need to count those. The die is expended only if the target fails the saving throw, which means you get to use it willy-nilly, and also it's a bonus action. Smash. Hard smash.
Pass. 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 I can't.
Moving
you can't
on.
throw items.
Moving
you
on.
Can't throw items.
We're moving on now.
What's the point if you can't throw items?
Telepathic connection. You have telepathy with a range of 5 feet. As a bonus action, you can expend 1 psionic energy die and roll it. For a number of minutes equal to your psion level, the range of your telepathy increases by a number of feet equal to 10 times the number rolled. So passively, just passively, without anything, you just have telepathy within 5 feet.
Pass. Hard George of the Jungle.
Pass?
Sorry. No. Smash. Smash. I'm sorry. I was thinking about George of the Jungle and all of a sudden, I was just like, I passed into that book. It's not even a book. It's a movie. I don't know what's happening.
Why are you thinking of George of the Jungle?
Smash.
I also smash. No, passive telepathy.
George of the Jungle? You smashed George of the Jungle?
Oh, Brendan Fraser?
Yeah.
Subtle telekinesis. You know the Mage Hand cantrip, and you can cast it without somatic components. You can make the spectral hand invisible when you cast it. So, basically without doing anything, you just passively have telekinesis, but it uses Mage Hand rules. Which means, Knigobi, you can move around objects.
Yeah, but it's not with the other ability.
Right,
Also,
it's with a
invisible hand, invisible secret hand, smash.
Smash. Psionic Discipline. You learn further psionic techniques that are fueled by your psionic energy dice. You gain 2 disciplines of your choice, such as Expanded Awareness and Id Insinuation. Disciplines are described in the Psionic Discipline options section later in this class's description.
ID assimilation?
What the fuck did you just say to me? Come again?
No.
No, what did you just say? You don't get out of this that easily. Did you say ID assimilation?
Yes.
Id insinuation.
Those are words, and I don't think one of them is a word. Those are just letters.
Psychology lesson with Thomas Fitch. This is going to be really rough and shitty. The id is... Oh, you have popcorn.
I've been snacking this whole time.
Id comes from a concept that your mind is sort of broken up into multiple different layers. Okay, so this is a bunch of options, much like Battlemaster Fighter or Eldritch Invocations. There are 11 of them.
Pass.
Which is a lot of... What do you mean, Pat? We haven't read them.
It's so complicated already.
It's just like, there's more Eldritch Invocations than there are this, I'm pretty sure.
What classes do I play?
I only know of Ranger.
Ranger or Barbarian. That's it.
Okay, the objective worst class and then one of the simplest. Okay.
Whoa. Time out.
No,
Time
moving
out.
on.
Time
okay.
out.
Biofeedback. When you cast a Psion spell from the Necromancy or Transmutation school, you expend 1 psionic energy die and roll it. You gain a number of temporary hit points equal to the number rolled plus your intelligence modifier. Smash.
Pass. Rewarded for raising the dead.
Destructive Thoughts. When you cast a Psion spell from the Conjuration or Evocation school, and a creature you can see succeeds on a saving throw against that spell, you can expend 1 psionic energy die and roll it. The creature takes psychic damage equal to the number rolled plus your intelligence modifier. Pass.
I'm so confused right now. Is this like intrusive thoughts, but you're making somebody think like, oh, if only I just swerve a little bit to the right?
I think kind of, yeah. You make Conjuration or Evocation, so such as like Fireball, for instance, and you make them take a bit of psychic damage?
Yeah, they just step into it. Got it. Smash.
When you flavor it like that, that actually is pretty cool.
Smash.
It's boring. Pass.
No!
Devilish Tongue. When you take the Influence action, you can expend 1 psionic energy die, roll it, and add the number rolled to the ability check. Smash! Your mind powers give you better persuasion and intimidation and shit like that. So flavorful.
So like what you're telling me is that like Devilish Tongue, I could like talk you into moving across the country, you and your partner, and we'll just all have like a little commune up in New York.
Unfortunately, you're a commoner stat block. Moving on.
Fuck!
Ego Whip.
You didn't even ask me what it was! It's smashed!
Ego Whip. When a creature provokes an opportunity attack from you by leaving your reach, you can take a reaction to roll 1 psionic energy die and force the creature to make an intelligence saving throw. On a failed save, the target's speed is reduced by 10 feet and it subtracts the number rolled from the next damage roll it makes before the end of its next turn. The die is expended only if the target fails the saving throw. Smash.
Pass.
Expanded Awareness. When you take the Search action, you can expend 1 psionic energy die, roll it, and add the number rolled to the ability check.
Pass. There's so many other things that do that.
No, pass. We finally found it. Id Insinuation. When you cast a Psion spell from the Enchantment or Illusion school that forces a creature to make a saving throw, you can expend 2 psionic energy dice and roll 1 psionic energy die. What target of the spell you can see subtracts the number rolled from its saving throw against the spell? Is that harmonicon for smash or pass?
It's a harmonica for head empty, no thoughts, because I did not understand any of that. I've never felt more dumb in my life.
Inerrant Aim. When you make an attack roll against a creature and miss, you can roll 1 psionic energy die and add the number rolled to the attack roll, potentially turning the miss into a hit. If this causes the attack to hit, the die is expended. Smash.
Smash.
Psionic Backlash. Immediately after a creature you can see hits you with an attack roll, you can take a reaction to expend 1 psionic energy die. Roll 2 psionic energy dice, and subtract the number rolled on each die from the total. In addition, you can force the attacker to make a Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes psychic damage equal to the amount rolled on the 2 psionic energy dice. Okay, I got it. No, I got it. Hold on. No, it's okay. It's okay. You don't need, I'll explain it.
My safe word is harmonica honk.
If a creature hits you, you can roll 2 of your dice and then subtract that from their attack roll, potentially turning that hit into a miss. In addition, after that, for free, they also have to make a Wisdom save, and if they fail, they take damage.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Smash.
I don't mind that. Yeah, smash.
Psionic Guards. At the start of your turn, you can expend 1 psionic energy die. Until the start of your next turn, you have immunity to the Charmed and Frightened conditions, and advantage on intelligence saving throws. If you're charmed or frightened when you use it, the condition ends. When you use this discipline, you can also use a different one this turn.
It's cool. I feel bad for any elves who decide to take this.
Agreed. Smash. Those players are stupid, that's on them. Smash.
You weren't even that interested till I said that, you spiteful little shit!
Smash or pass?
Elves?
No, the thing we just read.
Oh, haha. Pass.
Swift Precognition. When you cast a Psion spell from the Abjuration or Divination School with a casting time of an action, you can expend a number of psionic energy dice to change the casting time to a bonus action for this casting. The number of dice equals 1 plus the spell's level. Pass.
I love bonus action economy. Absolutely love it. Mary.
Tactical Mind. When you take the study action, you can expend 1 psionic energy die, roll it, and add the number rolled to the ability check. Pass.
I don't fully comprehend, but if you're passing, I'm passing.
In total, there were 5 psionic disciplines we couldn't agree on. 3 that we passed, and also 3 that we smashed. So that was all for nothing, and psionic disciplines is a neutral feature. It was a wash. Moving on. Psionic modes. You have honed your psionic power stacked as both a shield and a weapon in battle. As a bonus action, you can choose one of the following modes, granting you certain benefits for 1 minute or until you use this feature again. Attack mode. Damage from your weapon attacks, psion spells, and psion features ignore resistance to psychic damage. In addition, when you roll damage for a spell, you can expend one of your dice to reroll a number of damage dice equal to your intelligence modifier minimum of 1. You must use the new rolls.
Is it concentration?
No.
You're telling me that Hunter's Mark is concentration, but this isn't?
Objectively the worst class.
Whoa. No.
Defense
No,
mode.
wait.
You have
wait,
resistance
no.
to psychic damage. In addition, when you fail an intelligence, wisdom, or charisma saving throw, you can take a reaction to expend 1 psionic energy die, roll it, and add the number rolled to the saving throw, potentially turning a failure into a success. You can use this feature twice. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
Pass. I don't feel like it's enough for a long rest when there's a lot of other things coming on a short rest. You know what I mean? Feels weirdly balanced that this is like the thing that doesn't feel. I mean, I could be wrong, but I usually am.
I feel like it's kind of boring. I'm going to go with pass. My main reason is because the main benefit you get from this, it sounds like for 1 minute you're going to get this cool benefit, but the benefit is resistance to psychic damage, which is not common, or your attacks ignore resistance to psychic damage, which is also
not common.
And then the actual features that are interesting, you have to expend your dice for, which I feel like it's weird that it's tied to this, like, for 1 minute feature. I like it in concept, execution, pass. Psionic Restoration. When you finish a short rest, you can regain expended psionic energy dice, but no more than a number equal to half your number of dice, round down. When you use this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. So in short, they allow you to gain back even more of your resource on short rests once you reach level 5.
I think this is one of those things where I would have to play it and see how much you're using it.
Pass.
I love things on a short rest, don't get me wrong. But now you're giving almost like a little too much. You know what I mean? Like there is a such thing as too much. Like when you go to Thanksgiving and then your grandma keeps telling you to have another bite. It was really good. It was really good when you had seconds and thirds, but now you're having fourths and you're like, gam, please.
Personally, I don't really mind that. Like I like the concept of getting even more on one short rest, because it's only one short rest. You can only do this once. You can't do it repeatedly on short rests. I think it's just super boring. It's a nice quality of life thing, but it's boring. Psionic Surge. When you roll initiative, you can expend one of your hit point dice and regain 1 expended use of psionic modes. Wait, what the fuck is psionic modes? Hold on. Psionic modes is the ability we already passed on, which gives you the ability to go into attack mode or defense mode, and then you have to spend your dice to do the cool stuff. So you get a reuse of the mode, which means you get to activate it for 1 minute. You don't get a reuse of your dice to actually spend on the features.
Pass.
Level 20, the capstone ability. This is where it all culminates. You have 9th level spells at this point. Enkindled Life Force. Once per turn, when you expend one psionic energy die and roll it for a psion feature or discipline, you can expend 2 of your hit point dice to roll 2 additional psionic energy dice and add the numbers rolled to the total.
Risk it for the biscuit. I mean, I can get behind that.
Smash.
Tentative smash. That's get a couple drinks in me smash. You know what I mean? Like,
Drunken smash.
Yeah.
With all of that said, we've covered each core feature of the Psion. In total, there are 3 smashes and 3 passes, leaving the core of the Psion at a resounding I mean, it's fine. The flavor's fantastic, and I think they did a really good job of capturing the fantasy of a Psion really early on in the class, but it's just not exciting.
Flavor, I like. Would I play it? Fuck no.
Moving forward with an underwhelming feeling, can the subclasses save the Psion's smashability? Skipping the first one in alphabetical order because it's kind of weird, we start with the Psi Warper. Masters of manipulating space, but not so much in the telekinesis sort of way as in the teleporting kind of way. You are not supposed to be up there. Each subclass gets a hearty list of free spells that they always have prepared. Prominent inclusions for the Psi Warper include Misty Step and Shatter, as well as some other thematic things like Blink, Banishment, and Steel Wind Strike. All right, you're coming down. Come here. Get down. Get down. Go. Get off the counter. Go. Teleportation. You can cast Misty Step without expending a spell slot, and you must finish a long rest before you can cast it this way again, so you get 1 free Misty Step per day. You can also restore your use of it by expending 1 psionic energy die. No action required.
Smash. This is a clean, indisputable Phil Collins Tarzan soundtrack smash.
Warp Propel. When a target fails its saving throw against your telekinetic propel, which is your ability to push and pull creatures, instead of pushing it, you can teleport the target to an unoccupied space you can see within 30 feet of you that is horizontal to you. Fucking smash hard, smashing it. I'm on it, I'm riding it, up and down we go.
I hate it. I mean, like, smash, but, like, I don't want it. Like, I want it, but I don't want it. You know what I mean?
I desperately want this because you can set them up in the exact position you want them as a bonus action, and then do something else to them with them in that new location with your action. If they're like, oh, you're out of my AoE, get you in my AoE, boom. Also, 30 feet horizontal to you. That means if you're by a ledge.
I'm gonna be honest with you. As a person who has watched another player get thrown off of a ledge for no reason other than the DM being wild, getting groovy with it, and there was nothing any of us could do because after the 3rd try, even though many of us still had an action on our turn, we were not allowed to help. Hey man, this is scary. This is horrifying.
Don't let your trauma hold you back. Don't punish the Psion for the actions of others.
I'm not punishing the Psion for the actions of others. I'm punishing the Psion for the actions of many horrible DMs around the world.
Smash.
I said smash. I didn't disagree. I just said I don't want it.
Warp Space. When you cast Shatter, you can expend 1 psionic energy die to modify the spell so that its radius is 20 feet. In addition, creatures that fail the saving throw against the spell are pulled straight towards the center of the sphere, ending in an unoccupied space as close to the smash. Teleporter combat. I'm already in the smash category. Let's see what I'm so ready to smash. Immediately after you cast Misty Step, you can cast one of your Psion cantrips that is a casting time of an action as part of the bonus action. Smash. Teleport,
Smash.
Misty Step, hit him with a cantrip, and hit him with another Smash.
This is Fabio Smutbook Smash.
Duplicitous Target. When a creature you can see makes an attack roll against you, you can take a reaction to expend 1 psionic energy die and choose a willing creature you can see within 30 feet of yourself that doesn't have the incapacitated condition. You and the willing creature teleport, swapping places with each other. The creature then becomes the target of the attack roll.
I'm on a different plane of existence right now. I did not absorb that. Are you confused too?
I've reread it and I am not. So, to simplify it, when a creature makes an attack roll against you, you could use a reaction, spend 1 of your dice. You choose a willing creature, aka an ally, that's within 30 feet of you, and you both swap places, and that ally takes the attack for you.
Pass!
Honestly, I'm kind of in the pass category too.
Pass!
I like the concept, but the fact that you have to spend a die and it's only 30 feet and it has to be a buddy, so it's not really changing that much. I think the idea is that...
You're not a team player?
I think the idea is you're super squishy, so, swap with the tank, but, I feel like I would like this more. If you could, do it to other people.
Yes.
But it's literally just if you're hit, you can swap. If you could swap all of your allies around and, choosing, don't like it. Too restrictive.
I genuinely think if you could swap with an enemy, if there was another enemy in your range and you can swap with the enemy and then the enemy is attacking itself, I would get behind that. That would be the hardest smash ever. That's goofy, but in a good way,
I think you would have to fuck with it to make it not super strong if you could do that, because you have a lot of dice to swap out with, but it would be way more fun if you could somehow Maybe it's
an ability you can only use once per short rest. They get a bunch of other things back on a short rest. There's other ways they could balance that out. I understand the idea of I understand the idea of you have to sacrifice something, but I don't. That's a bit. It's gone too far.
Mass teleportation.
Smash.
As a magic action. You expend 4 psionic energy dice and choose huge or smaller creatures equal to within 30 feet of yourself, up to a number of creatures equal to your intelligence modifier. Each of the chosen creatures is teleported to an unoccupied space within 150 feet of you.
Smash.
An unwilling creature that succeeds on a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC is unaffected.
Smash. Mass teleportation, they're taking me to mass, because that's a religious fucking experience.
They're taking me to smash. That's... With 5 out of 6 features receiving a smash, the Psi Warper is truly something to fuck. But one good subclass does not a good class make. Next on the list is the Psykinetic. Masters of manipulating space, very much in the telekinesis way. They come pre-prepared with Shield, Thunderwave, a new spell called Telekinetic Crush, and obviously telekinesis. Telekinetic techniques. When you use your telekinetic propel, you can impose one of the following effects on that target. Boost. The target speed increases by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. Wait. So the telekinetic propel is where, as a bonus action, you can push and pull things. I didn't think about using that on allies. I only thought about using it on enemies. But you could push or pull your allies as well.
Correct.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so all you gotta do is say for example, you and I are in a game together, okay? And we just take a moment to remember how much you hate me, and then I'm walking by you and I'm like, tee hee hee hee, and then I pull you away so you get the opportunity attack, you know what I mean?
So anyways, when you use that, you can do stuff like Boost, which is the target speed increases by 10 feet till the start of your next turn. You can Disorient, the target can't make opportunity attacks until the start of its next turn. Or Telekinetic Bolt. If the target fails the saving throw, it takes force damage equal to the number rolled on the psionic energy die. I'd say overall smash, the idea is, hey, take the already existing telekinetic thing and give it utility features, and you can choose which one for the situation. Smash.
I'm indifferent. They're coming up to me, you know what I mean?
Empowered attack mode. While your attack mode is active, you gain a fly speed of 60 feet and can hover. And when you cast a Psion spell, you can add your intelligence modifier to 1 damage roll of that spell. I think this is classic telekinetic awesomeness. I love things that can fly. Smash. Rebounding Field. When you cast Shield in response to being hit by an attack roll and cause the triggering attack to miss, you can expend 1 psionic energy die to launch the force back at the attacker. The attacker makes a dexterity saving throw. Roll 2 psionic energy die. On a failed save, the attacker takes force damage equal to the amount rolled, and you gain temporary hit points equal to that amount. On a successful save, they take half damage only.
You just said so much.
When you cast Shield and it makes the attack miss, you can expend one of your dice to throw the attack back at the enemy.
Okay, yep.
They take some damage, and you also get temp HP.
Smash.
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 Enhanced Telekinetic Crush. When you cast Telekinetic Crush, which is a spell that comes free with this class, I guess we have to go read it. Fuck. Telekinetic Crush, it's an action, level 3 spell, range 120 feet. You create a field of crushing telekinetic force in a 30-foot cube within range. Each creature makes a strength saving throw. On a failed save, they take 5d6 force damage and have the prone condition. Awesome. You choose a big range and then you just go push down. Cool. When you use that ability, when you cast that spell, you can expend one psionic energy die to modify the spell so that whether a creature fails or succeeds on the saving throw, its speed is halved until the start of your next turn. So in addition to going crush and possibly pushing people prone, you also have their speed. This is a level 10 ability.
Pass.
Pass.
I feel like that's just fancy way of saying trip a motherfucker, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, it's just really underwhelming. At level 10, you get an enhanced level 3 spell.
But it doesn't feel like super enhanced either, you know?
Alright, let's see if this subclass can save itself with heightened telekinesis. When you cast telekinesis, you can expend 4 psionic energy dice to modify the spell so that it doesn't require concentration. Ooh. If you do so, the spell's duration becomes 1 minute for that casting.
I can
and you can target gargantuan creatures and objects.
I can multi-class Ranger. Ranger can finally happen. Holy hallelujah. I can Hunter's Mark. Ah!
Hunter's Mark and telekinesis, they go so well together. Outside of that stupid thing you just said, smash hard. Hard smash.
How is that stupid?
We finally found a way to make the Ranger viable by taking 14 levels of Psion. Another strong contender, the Psykinetic got 4 out of 5 smashes. So far, the subclasses are doing wonders for the Psion, but will the next one fare the same? The Telepath, masters of telepathy, the thing you're already familiar with. They get shit like detect thoughts. It's a telepath. What do you want me to say about it? Mind Infiltrator. When you cast Detect Thoughts, you can expend 2 psionic energy dice to modify the spell so it doesn't require spell components or concentration. And the target does not know you're probing its mind if it fails the wisdom saving throw. Fucking smash.
Simple smash.
Telepathic Hub. You have telepathy with a range of 10 feet. When you expend a psionic energy die as part of using telepathic connection to increase the range of your telepathy, for the duration of the effect, you can simultaneously contact a number of creatures equal to 1 plus the number rolled on the psionic energy die.
So just beefy message? So group chat?
Yeah, it's a short range group chat.
Group chat?
Pass.
Pass.
I don't like the original feature it's built on that much. Spending a die just to increase the range a little bit. Lame. I don't hate it. I'm glad it exists. It helps fuel the flavor of this subclass of being a telepath connecting multiple people. But like,
also, like nobody likes enforced group chats.
Empowered Defense Mode. While your defense mode is active, whenever you make a saving throw, you add 1d4 to the save. In addition, while your defensive mode is active, you can extend this benefit to creatures you are telepathically connected with using your telepathic connection.
Pass.
I've become a smash.
I didn't like the attack and defense. I don't feel like that's enough to save it for me. I feel like it being built off of that is what's making me a little like...
I agree with you. I didn't like the attack and defense, but this saves it for me. You get to add another passive benefit, which makes it more worth it, and then share that passive benefit with anyone that you're connected to. So that's automatically anyone within 10 feet.
Yeah, but you also have to spend shit on top of that, though.
It's true, but like, it's good. I like it. A+. Potent Thoughts. You add your intelligence modifier to the damage you deal with any Psion cantrip. It's simple. It's not surprising. Smash.
Smash.
I'm not excited about it necessarily, but it's...
Butter on a roll.
What the hick-ass shit did you just say?
Butter on a roll. It's simple, tried and true. You're not getting excited about it, but you're certainly disappointed when it's not there.
Telepathic Bolstering. You have telepathy out to 30 feet. When you are a creature you can see within range of your telepathy fails an ability check or misses with an attack roll, you can take a reaction and expend 1 energy die, roll the die, and add the number rolled to the d20, potentially turning the failed check into a success. The psionic energy die is expended only if the check succeeds or the attack hits. Smash.
Smash.
Smash. Scramble Minds. When you cast Confusion, you can expend 4 psionic energy dice to modify the spell so the radius of the spell's sphere becomes 30 feet. In addition, creatures under the effects of the spell roll 2d10s, and you choose which roll determines their behavior on their turn. Smash.
Smash.
I feel like that's actually a beautiful little capstone for the subclass, because it feels like a big, strong telepath thing. Not only are you making them do random bad behavior, but you also have some control over it by determining which of the 2d10s. No, awesome. I think the telepath out of all of them might succeed at hitting the fantasy the best, even if some of its stuff is boring. I think they made a very successful telepath. It may not be a subclass that excites me, but like the slut I am, I'd still get in that bed. I mean, look, I'm not proud of it, but 5 smashes out of 6 is still 5 smashes out of 6. Now, it's time to finally circle back around to the first subclass, the Metamorph. Masters of sculpting their own flesh to become a human weapon. Via mind powers, I guess, somehow. I don't really get this one. That's why I saved it to the end. I don't understand the connection to psionics. But hey, they get stuff like Alter Self, Polymorph, and Stone Skin. Organic weapons. You can shape your limbs into weapons. Whenever you take the attack action or make an opportunity attack, you can reform your free hand into one of the following organic weapons. Bone, blade, flesh maul, or viscera launcher. Jesus Christ, that sounds awful. Your limb immediately returns to its previous form after your organic weapon hits or misses its target.
This is like a weird combination of Parasite and Gumby, and I don't know how to feel about it.
Whenever you attack with a weapon, you can use your intelligence modifier for the attack and damage rolls instead of using strength or dex. You can cause the weapon to deal psychic damage or its normal damage type. Bone blade. A blade made of bone springs from your forearm or extends from your hand. The blade counts as a simple melee weapon with a finesse property, and it deals 1d8 piercing damage on hit. You have advantage on the attack roll you make with the blade if at least one of your allies is within 5 feet of the target and they don't have incapacitated condition.
Smash.
Bone blade smash. Flesh maul. Your fist and forearm coalesce into a hardened mass of flesh and bone. The maul counts as a simple melee weapon and deals 1d10 bludgeoning damage. A creature hit by the maul has disadvantage on the next strength or constitution saving throw it makes before the start of its next turn. So, more damage,
Smash.
But worse effect.
Smash.
Honestly, still smash.
Smash.
It's, especially because it works with your ability to push and pull people. You could hit them, and then they have disadvantage
smash
when you push them. Viscera launcher. Fucking hate the sound of that. Your hand and forearm transform into a crossbow made of muscle and sinew that fires bolts of bile. The launcher counts as a simple ranged weapon with a normal range of 30 feet and a long range of 90. It deals 1d6 acid damage. Once on each of your turns when you hit a creature with an attack roll using the launcher, you can deal an extra 1d6 acid damage to the target. Pass.
Smash.
Pass.
It's a good ability, you're just freaked out by it.
I'm incredibly freaked out by it, and I think that's enough. And it feels like a worse version of just casting a ranged cantrip.
No, it's all about the flavor.
Honestly, the whole thing together, though, organic weapons, smash.
It's just an all-around smash for me. That's a delicate smash. That's a thank you smash.
Extend limbs. As a bonus action, you can expend 1 psionic energy die. For the next minute, you gain the following benefits. Your reach increases by 5 feet. Your speed increases by 5 feet. When you cast a spell that has a range of touch and a casting time of an action, you can make that spell's range 10 feet.
Gumby alien.
Disturbing Stretch Armstrong bullshit.
Gumby.
But also pretty cool. So this is, I don't understand how this is Psion at all.
Well, yeah, because you're using your brain to overcome your mortal body.
By transforming your body? I don't get it. Doesn't make any sense to me.
I get it. Because here. Let me explain. You have such power over your brain that you can push your mortal limits. You can get past that pain wall, right? While also using your telekinetic. Like, if you can use telekinesis to throw things, you can just use it to mold your body like clay. It makes sense. You just don't want to,
Oh, God, now that you're thinking of it like that, that's awful.
It's amazing.
Oh, fuck.
I love this.
Oh. Level 6, you get extra attack. Classic, necessary. Smash.
Smash.
Been a smash since the dawn of time.
Smash.
Quickened Healing. When you cast Cure Wounds, you can expend 2 psionic energy die to change the casting time to a bonus action.
Smash!
When you do, you can roll 1 psionic energy die and add it to the total hit points. Smash.
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 I find it interesting that their way of giving this melee class a bit more durability isn't like extra AC or something like that. Bonus action Cure Wounds. That's kind of cool. I like it. Smash. Mutable Form. When you use Extent Limbs, the duration increases to 10 minutes and you gain 1 of the following benefits. Stony Epidermis. You have advantage on Constitution saving throws to maintain concentration. In addition, choose one of the following damage types, which it seems to be pretty much all of them outside of force damage and necrotic and radiant, a lot of damage types. You gain resistance to the chosen damage type. That gets a smash.
Smash.
Superior Stride. While you aren't wearing armor, you can take the dash action as a bonus action and you have a climb speed and swim speed equal to your speed. Smash.
Smash.
Unnatural Flexibility. You get a +2 bonus to AC,
Smash,
and
smash,
your body,
smash,
along with any
smash,
equipment you're wearing or
smash,
carrying,
smash,
becomes pliable.
smash,
You can move through any space as narrow as 1 inch, and you can spend 5 feet of movement to escape from non-magical
smash,
restraints or in the grappled condition.
Smash. Smash.
Disgusting, but I think I'm gonna...
Smash.
This is a hear me out smash.
No.
Because I'm so grossed out.
+2 to AC,
But
boy.
I'll fuck it.
+2 to AC, boy. Go where you want with a +2 to AC. Smash. Smash.
This whole thing, all of Mutable Form, all around smash. Life-bending weapons. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with your organic weapon, you can expend 1 psionic energy die and roll it. Each creature of your choice in a 10-foot emanation originating from you regains hit points equal to the number rolled plus your intelligence modifier. Additionally, 1 creature of your choice in that area takes necrotic damage equal to the number rolled.
Smash. Smash.
It's simple, but I'm smashing.
Smash.
I'm smashing.
Smash.
I'm smashing.
This entire...
And at level 14...
This entire fucking thing, I'm sorry. This is a Brennan Fraser no-nonsense fucking smash.
There's some nonsense. It's gross as hell.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool.
But it's cool.
It's cool.
It is cool.
It's fucking cool. Smash.
I think if I played this class, I would reflavor it as just being psychic weapons that project like Psylocke. So I don't have to...
Flesh! I want to hear the bones crack. I want to describe the bones cracking out of place and the sinew moving.
I do not feel comfortable in my own skin. But with a perfect score of 6 out of 6, there is no denying that the Metamorph is the most fuckable Psion there is. Even if it is disgusting. In conclusion, the Psion is very much a class. With a total of 6 passes and 21 smashes. It's a pretty sexy one too. And baby, I am first in that line. To be candid for a moment, I love getting new content and I'm really excited for the Psion. I want to play it in the next thing I do. While it doesn't reinvent the wheel, it's still pretty cool. It does a good job of following the D&D formula while feeling unique. I think the designers could have been more creative and pushed more boundaries, but still, they did an absolutely fantastic job. If you think I did a fantastic job, join the Patreon already and be like Nolan Widmer, someone we can all agree is never a pass. Was that a sexy wink? I hope it was a sexy wink. I wouldn't want to wink unsexy. What am I kidding? Of course it was a sexy wink.